I wanted to make this video real quick because for the longest time, I was born into a Catholic family, and around like 15, 16 years old, I started to rebel against God. I didn't really believe in Christ. I didn't believe that there was actually a God. And then around like 18, 19 years old, I really started to experiment with like psychedelics, and I got into all like the power of the mind and different things like that, because like around 16 I made like a big lifestyle change. I started changing my diet and everything. But around that time, like, I rebelled against God. I was just questioning everything. I went through that phase, and I'm pretty sure most people do. I feel like it's pretty normal. I just questioned everything, why I was here, why I existed, what's the point of all of this, is there even a God, different things like that. So around that time, I just kind of like rebelled against God. And I'm 22 now, but I'm, with all the psychedelics experiences that I've had, I've come back to Christ. I've realized that is Christ is everything, and He is God. And I give my life to Him, because without Him I'm nothing. That's what I've came to realize, and it's just shocking. I've had like a lot of a very spiritual psychedelic trips, very eye-opening. They definitely have made me believe that there is like a creator. And yeah, as years pass by, it just brought me back to Christ. I'm starting to read the Bible more, just trying to become a better person. And maybe it's also had to do too, since I started like fighting and competing in like Muay Thai. But I found like, I don't know, there's got to be something bigger than myself, and I feel like that's just God, that's Jesus Christ. So that's kind of like my testimony. I don't know if people really care, but it's just beautiful to see, because like I feel better. I eat natural too. I take very good care of myself and my diet. I just try to eat biblically. I'm also a retainer. I don't know if people will understand that, but I retain my life force. I think that it's not for everybody. I don't think everybody understands that, but I know that's also mentioned in the Bible and talked about. I believe, like, I think it was King Solomon. He got defeated by lust. Lust was his downfall, his demise. And this is a big issue that we have in society nowadays. I feel like a lot of people are just very lustful, men and women. People are not connected to God. They're not connected to the source. They're just disconnected. And personally, me, I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke weed. I mean, I have experimented with like recreational drugs over the years, but I've never really had like negative effects from them. And I always really took them for like spiritual reasons, or for the mental health benefits, like the neurogenesis and like the neuroplasticity and things like that. And I feel like they've really actually have helped me. I would also kind of use it as like a recovery tool when I was like fighting, because obviously when you're fighting and you're competing, you're obviously taking damage. You're going to be taking some type of brain damage. So I believe like psychedelics could potentially help. Obviously, I don't know yet. We have to see. I think has to be like more research and stuff like that done. But if you do that like, you have to microdose, but if you do that along with like eating healthy and taking care of your body, and doing other things, it could definitely help. But yeah, I've come back to Christ, man. I've come back to Christ. I've realized that Christ is everything, and without Him I am nothing. So it's just interesting. I feel like nowadays too, I'm coming across a lot of content of people giving their life to Jesus. So that's beautiful to see. I feel like there's some type of awakening going on. Because people are starting to see what the world really is. It's not what we thought it was. There's some really dark stuff going on, and we're in a system, and there's elites, that control the system. Um, so yeah, it's very deep, but I'm very glad that